For section 6.2, we're going to look at workout design and the consideration to thermal load. So the thermal load, the amount of potential heat storage that athletes are exposed to in training, is influenced by three main categories. And that's the environmental factors, which is going to impact the ability to compensate for heat gain or dissipate heat. So we look at ambient temperature, humidity, solar radiation. In terms of the metabolic heat production, what does the session design? So what is the duration, the work to rest ratios, how intense is the training, what recovery or cooling modalities are incorporated into that program? Those are going to affect the rate of metabolic heat production. And then individual factors, and this is going to be very personalized depending on the athlete, the level, the environment, and everything going into hydration and acclimation status. So the consideration for trainers and for practitioners and coaches is that identical sessions based on programming, whether it's in a spreadsheet or in a document, will look different for different individuals or under different conditions. So an example of this is if you did a high intensity circuit with a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, that may be fine or may be easily tolerated or compensable in a 20 degrees Celsius environment. But in a high heat environment, that exact same workout could cause significant thermal load and thermal burden. So when there is the threat or there's the perception of the threat that there could be thermal loading or heat stress that is going to impair performance or risk athlete health, some ways that you can modify to reduce session density. So increase the rest times relative to work, give more time for cooling mechanisms to happen, whether it is augmented with devices or just on its own passive rest time. Also to shorten the total duration or segment training. And a lot of these protocols are in place in high heat environments in sports. And then also monitor beyond heart rate. So heart rate is a great measure of the strain overall that an individual is under, but other things may look for early signs of perception, of cognitive performance, and even motivation to some degree. If you see that something is off, that could be an indicator of heat stress. To mitigate, proactively implement cooling strategies, especially if you have predetermined rest breaks, have sessions set up or cooling stations, opportunities to get ahead of that thermal burden and enhance heat dissipation throughout the entire time. And then if necessary or if appropriate, change out the specific type of drills or exercises that are maybe high complexity or heavy load or high metabolic demands. Now, again, you need to make sure that the workout aligns with the objectives, the goals, what are you trying to accomplish. The big thing here is just being aware of the risks of heat stress and how it's going to impact performance and then adapt the workout design accordingly.